before, it runs using Linux, the operating system. And as far as I'm concerned, you can't. It's a far chance of breaking a Linux operating system with viruses and trojans and all other malware.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do at this point, I hope you guys come up with more questions, is we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be having more of your questions from out there and also from here in the audience to give to the inventors.
Books featured by The Explainer are available on shelves or on order at a different bookstore.
Welcome back. Now, Bettina, we have a lot of questions from our viewers, so would you like to fire them off one by one?
Yes, one of them is from Kokoy. He asks, Juice failed. How are you guys different?
You want to answer that?
I can talk about it.
Okay, all right.
Well, anyway, well, first of all, I don't know how Juice is software. But basically, maybe it was launched a little bit ahead of its time. And you see, well, it was also alluded to earlier, a lot of inventions basically have been trying to crack a solution, but, you know, sort of didn't make it. And sometimes that's a bit of timing. We feel that, first of all, we're different from Juice mainly because that software, we're hardware with software integrated. Secondly is that we're really creating an all-in-one solution. Juice is, of course, a software that you can access television from your laptop via the net.
Okay, we have another question. Bettina?
Yeah, another question. Termite Queen asks, isn't Internet TV already standard for stateside Marriotts? Marriotts, I'm sorry.
Isn't Internet TV almost
Yeah,
standard?
if you go to a hotel in the States, you have a thing like that attached to your TV, and you can fiddle around and switch around. So, what's the difference?
Well, basically, the thing is, it's just limited to that. Then you don't have the interface, you don't have the OS, and you don't have the, I guess you can say, the TiVo function as well that comes with that will be integrated.
Okay,
with
that's why you're going to have TiVo. Of course, is the way they do in the States, where you can record a program at your convenience and play it. Which brings us to our next question, Bettina.
That's another question from Captain Plurk. Why an Internet TV? Why not a touchscreen, keyboardless, dirt cheap notebook?
Why not, indeed?
Interesting question. I guess the way to answer that is to say that this is not our only invention. So this is just where we're starting, but definitely our innovation pipeline. You know, there's a whole stream to that. So.
And why not a notebook?
And why not?
Well, I guess to answer that question is we don't want to compete in a category that's already strong, and the notebook category is strong. The LCD ITV category is very new, and we're not coming up with something to. We're not inventing something and finding a way to sell it. Rather, we're looking at what's missing in people's lives and how do we find a way to bring it to them. And what Mark said a while ago, the clutter is what's missing in people's lives.
Okay, which brings us to our next question from
John asks, what is your business strategy as global brand?
I'll answer that in a minute. Well, first things first is we want to assemble the best of the best executives and management people in the Philippines together. And more importantly is any startup, we have to generate sales. So a lot of direct selling, a lot of e-commerce, internet selling, B2B selling, hopefully within the Philippines and eventually abroad. So that's how we want to build a global brand.
Another question from Rafi. How long before you come up with a product you really want?
Before
that
the end of the
depends.
year.
Before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year.
Before the end of 2009.
Yeah.
Which makes me, if we're going on to the next question, very quickly, let me ask you, how are you walking through this process? You have the idea, you have your prototype. You seem to be different from many inventors in that you are taking the business side of it very seriously. And so explain to us how you're going about that.
Well, as entrepreneurs, we rely on the people around us. So we had to get the best of the best to make the product. Now, actually, as we speak, we are already secretly talking to the top people in consultancy and the top
It's
people.
not a secret anymore. You just mentioned.
Well, we won't mention their names, so that's the secret. And we're meeting. We've been meeting every night, and we're discussing the business plan and how to attack this in the market.
How do you keep this talent with you in your team so that they're not pirated by other people? What's in it for them until you get the investors?
I hug them every day. No, just kidding.
It's called death threats. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. But I guess also we're all rallying behind this mainly because we believe in it, and I think everybody in the team just really wants to bring this into the market. We have we're in a unique position to really bring this into the market, and that's what we're about. Basically, that's what keeps us going.
The first step is what do you need? What do you guys have to do? You have to find someone with a big wallet?
That's one of them.
And what does that wallet provide you with?
Well, that wallet provides us first with the finances to pay the salaries of the top management people who will be coming on board. It will also pay for the initial startup to produce the first
R&D?
batch. Also R&D. Actually, we call it research, design, and development. So we have to get more people as well, so that the first wave of investment will be for that. And
okay. Juned, through text, asked, meron na bang investors? So how did you get to the first 50,000 or 60,000 that you spent, and to the next, how much do you have to raise now?
Well, the first 50,000 plus came from our wallets, our pockets. And mga iba utang, Mark knows we also used credit card to just pay it off. With regards to investors, we're at a sweet position to actually choose the right investor to come on board. We've talked to a few, but we're really looking for the right personality.
How open are Filipinos and Filipino businessmen to actually seriously exploring something like this? Have you guys found it an uphill struggle?
I guess Mark can answer that.
We're still looking, getting investors is not just about the big wallet. They also really have to share with what we want to do. So they have to, well, of course, it sounds corny, but they have to share our values. They also have to share the fact that we're trying to do something beyond just, bringing an LCD ITV into the market. What we're really trying to do is build a strong Filipino consumer tech brand. So in that sense, it's not just about, somebody, hey, I have X amount, and basically, hey, let's get in bed together and build this thing bring this thing to market. It just really has to be this particular set of people, investors, that will believe in it and believe in the vision of the company that we're also trying to
Okay, you have this nation-building sort of aspect to what you're trying to do. Many skeptics will immediately tell you that the problem is we simply don't have the economies of scale. The market in the Philippines is simply not big enough. So are you guys just developing this so that maybe a Korean company or a Taiwanese company can buy you out?
We definitely, first off, we want to keep it here in the Philippines. We want to make it made, manufactured, and hopefully exported from the Philippines. A simple analogy would be Nokia's from Finland. They have like 5 to 9 million people population. We have close to 88 million people. So we're really hoping that within the Philippines, I believe if we solve a value, if we solve a problem and we provide the value, people will buy it.
People want to find out more, where do they go?
We have the internet, our website, ineventdesign.com, and basically we've been featured in news articles in Inquirer, Manila Times, and Business World, so they can browse the internet and they can learn a lot about it.
Yeah, and I guess email. You can just email Brian@ineventdesign.com or Mark@ineventdesign.com.
And are you taking this thing on a roadshow and demonstrating it to people, or they have to go online to watch your little demonstration video?
Both. They can go online, and this is like an instance where we're doing a roadshow. If people would invite us, we'd be more than happy to share it and explain.
Okay. From soup to nuts, the problem of the Filipino inventor has always been who's going to show them the money. And of course, the other question is, do we have what it takes to go beyond just a bright idea and actually manufacture something, which is the way other countries have advanced and assumed the technology of their competitors. So I'd like to thank you, Brian, and Mark, and the rest of the Innoventor team for being with us tonight, and hopefully whetting our appetites for more. And to you, Bettina, for being with us, and to our studio audience from the University of Perpetual Help Rizal, who might be the next generation of people producing things and not just assembling them for others. I'm Manolo Quezon, and this has been The Explainer.